And I'm back. And yes, I did just go off the westbound train at 12th Street, which is which is not the train I should have been getting off in theory. Do not cross tracks. Okay, I think I'll cross the tracks here. Yeah, it's not the side I should have been getting off in theory, but I started talking to somebody on the other train, and I just slipped my mind that I was only going to 12th Street because I'm so used to going to 44th Street. But yeah, I noticed the guy sitting directly across from me had a Amazon blue tag on, and I was just like, "Oh, Amazon?" And we just started talking about working at Amazon, and kind of funny how the things that are bad about working at Amazon are not the things that you hear are bad about working at Amazon, and then about the things that actually are bad at Amazon. And we both agreed that one of the worst things is managers that are, 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, that are fresh out of college, that get hired as area managers who have zero work experience. I mean, not only zero warehouse work experience, but literally zero work experience, and just come in and act like they're a boss, like they're better than everybody else. Meanwhile, you got guys our age in our 50s. I would say he was probably in his late 50s, but yeah, guys our age in our 50s that are doing like real labor, getting talked down to by people that are the age of our kids, that probably don't have they have never worked enough physical labor to even do the jobs we're doing. But anyway, that was such a great conversation that by the time I realized, it's like, oh shit, past 32nd Street. Where was my brain? I was getting off of 12th Street. So I ended up going down to 44th Street. I was so thirsty, and actually used the drinking fountain there. The water in it's surprisingly cold. Came down here. There's a woman I was riding with on that train. We kept looking at each other kind of funny. I think she's starting to recognize me because I keep seeing her out in these areas. I've seen her inside the human resource campus. I've seen her on the dash bus. At one point I saw her as I was coming out of the human resource campus, and there was some guy getting all in her face, and she was very terrified, and I didn't really do much aside from, I'm like, dude, back the fuck up. I just kind of got next to him in front of her and just told the guy to back up, and he looked at me funny, and he did back up. And then I asked if she was okay, and she didn't really say anything, but she looked genuinely relieved. At which point I just kind of went on my way. I don't know, maybe she remembers me from that. I don't know, but she was definitely looking at me and smiling as we were riding the train. She kept going east of 44th Street. So I'm kind of confused as to where she might be actually going, because she was, it looked like she was checking into the cash shelter when I went in, because I went into the campus at about 5. So it's 7:07 right now. Oh, and I was mentioning earlier how the transit system in Phoenix is oddly classist, which sounds on the surface sounds ridiculous, but I've shown several examples of how they've got, like, in theory, you would have all your transit meeting in one place and taking off from one place, so you could easily transfer from one mode of transportation to the other. And those stops, in theory, would be all congregated where there's a concentration of places where people would go. That is what seems sensible. But as I've shown downtown, that's not how the stops are in downtown Phoenix. Everything is very much separated by class. So the people that are the upper class people that are riding the express buses don't have to wait in the same area with the same riffraff as the people who are riding the local buses. And the location of the bus stops for the express buses are in better locations than the locations for the local bus stops, to the detriment of the people that are riding the local buses, because when you get downtown, it can be very difficult to transfer from one local bus route to another local bus route, because they've deliberately put those stops farther away from where classier people would be. And then the dash bus, just those stops just being their own thing, just because it's kind of recognized that that's just a shuttle for homeless people. And as I was trying to explain before I got all distracted, and there's the Route 12 heading north, before I got kind of distracted, well, so surprising seeing like one of those long, I forget what those are called, articulated bus. It's just odd seeing one of those long articulated buses used for such a minor route. But I guess that's how they justify the frequency. I think this bus this time of day only runs once an hour. It might be every 30 minutes, but I think it's hourly. This is one of the most infrequent buses that we've got in the valley. And to me, what's really ridiculous is how there's absolutely no information put on the bus stops anymore. We just got bus 253, 602, 253, 5000 transit information. And then we've got like a website and a stop number and a call or text thing. Oh, and the call thing, that literally does not work, because the voice recognition system of the call does not recognize voices over the noise of traffic. Might actually work at the stop, since there's not a whole lot of traffic at the stop, but I've certainly tried to use it in other locations, and just the vehicular traffic on a road is so loud that the voice recognition can't make out what I'm saying. So interestingly enough, there's no reference to the Valley Metro transit app, the app, which I've gone off at length to how good that app is. That app is just surprisingly good, especially now that they've got the availability of purchasing fare through it, which I've seen a few people use. At first I didn't see anybody use it, but I've seen some people using it. But it doesn't tell you to go to the app. But I don't know, that's a pet peeve of mine with transit. Like, where you come to a bus stop like that, there should be enough information posted on the sign on the bus stop for somebody who is unfamiliar with a transit center or with a transit system to be able to know what route stops there and when and how frequently, and during what times of the days, what days of the week, and also where that bus will take you. And probably also how to take that bus to other more major routes. I don't know, to me that's the bare minimum. It should be, well, the bare minimum should at least be what freaking route number stops there. And that's how the signs used to be. Like back in the day, there would have been there would have been a little sticker on the bus stop sign that said 12, and it would have said 12th Street. Which now, just nothing there. So there's my car. Seems to have done well. So anyway, what I was trying to say about things being classist, so that Route 12 doesn't run very often, and here's the bus stop, or the train stop here at 12th Street, where as you see, we've got some new high-rise apartments, and then the New Times office. But yeah, there's some classier stuff right around this intersection, even though this is kind of a bad part of town. But the Route 12 is not a major bus route. However, and I think this was done deliberately to try to keep the riffraff that's considered lower class people that ride on the Route 16 to prevent them from being on the did I do that? Oh yes, I did that. Yes, I did that thing where I had the camera in the wrong orientation to where I couldn't put it in the camera holder and have it shoot video. I make that mistake pretty regularly. Feels good to be back in my car. I need to plug in my iPhone. It died right after getting a text message from my sister saying that she's going to come visit me tomorrow at blah, 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 blah time. She just doesn't seem to understand, that I'm not home 24/7. So kind of she makes these windows of when she thinks she's going to be able to catch me at home, and I don't think I'm going to be home when she thinks she wants to see me tomorrow. And I mean, I've already got plans tomorrow morning to and I need to be at the mental health clinic at I need to be at the mental health clinic at 9 a.m. From what my case manager said, the benefits specialist is only there now. Oh, I like that red house in there. That's neat. The benefits specialist now is only there between the hours of well, it's only there on Wednesday. I guess she's there the whole day, or he, whoever it is now, is there the whole day. But basically, if you are not there between 9 and 9:30 a.m., you don't get to see the benefits specialist. You don't get to work with the benefits specialist. The person's schedule, it pretty much gets divvied up between those people that are there. So yeah, I'm not sure when my sister thinks that she's going to see me. I got the text message kind of clarifying that, and that's at what point my phone died. So she's probably wondering why I'm not texting her back, but I don't think she understands that I'm not always driving, and I don't always have the means to keep all my phones charged at all times. And that right now, out of my 3 phones, only one of them has service. So, plus she's text messaging me on that phone. So since she's hitting me on that as opposed to Snapchat, I don't even have. I couldn't even like reply to her from another phone if I did manage to get on Wi-Fi. So I gotta get something else in me for fluids. I'm really dehydrated right now. This light takes so damn long. Of course, I could just turn around on red, but I'm trying to get away from Washington and Jefferson. Actually, now that I think about it, it might have made sense just to go right and head over to the freeway and just go home. Cold bottle of water at home. Really no reason not to be at home. In fact, it might be a good idea to be at home in case Allison shows up there. Although I don't know what to think about her. Like I said, I was looking for her today around the campus. Didn't see her. There was a part of me that was really optimistic that maybe she might have tried to sign up to get shelter space or to get into like some kind of a rehab, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, she didn't have a phone, so she had no way of calling anybody, and I would assume if she got to a phone, like, she would have probably called me, but she hasn't. Maybe she's not doing that because she's mad and maybe feels like I abandoned her, which I don't feel like I did. I mean, I certainly didn't try to abandon her. I mean, she had yelled at me to go get her food, and I think she was under the way she was saying it, she's like, there's somewhere you can just go get food here, and there's not. But I mean, the way she was saying it is like I could just go somewhere and grab some free food and bring her some free food, and yes, they do feed the homeless people down there, but that's not how it works. And you think she could put 2 and 2 together and realize, after she's insultingly like, oh, there's this whole network, and you just don't understand how anything works. No, sugar, I think I understand how it works more than you do. You just know that people want to do things for you when you're young and petite and female and white. And yeah, people aren't offering me those same kind of favors, but I do know how a lot of the assistance systems and stuff work because I've been through them. And the way the food works is they don't just give you food. There are food banks where you can go and get food, but you need to be in line in a certain period of time. Most of them you need to register in advance and be on a list. Those procedures can be tricky. And then there's also there's 3 meals a day that are served right down there by the zone. 2 of them are served inside the campus by St. Vincent de Paul, one at breakfast, one at lunch. I forget what the exact hours were. I walked right by that sign. I should have taken a picture of the damn thing. But yeah, the breakfast is like a 1-hour window, and you got to go in during that 1 hour or you don't get fed. And then lunch, I think, is about an hour and a half window. It's a bigger window. That is on the back end of the Human Resources campus, so you got to have a pass to get in there, which she has. But yeah, like by the time we were in there and she's yelling at me to go get her food or go get her soup, by that time, a line bike on the ground. By that time, that's an electric assist bike too. By that time, she's already, like, that time had already come and went. Like, we had missed lunch. Like, when we went in, I don't even know if when we finished our intake, if it was too late to go to lunch or not. If our focus was going to lunch, then we kind of needed to go that. But it's really hard to navigate when you get in there. Nobody really tells you what each of the individual buildings are, what services are offered at which building, or you know, there's no guide that they hand you that shows you what hours, what services are available at what building and where they are within the campus. You just got to kind of figure it out. And most people that you ask are as clueless as you are. It does help if you got a friend that's been in there and that's going through it. You can kind of buddy up with somebody. And I feel like I kind of made a random buddy. Today, and I showed her a picture of Allison. Although as I was scrolling through my image gallery looking for a picture of Allison, I think she was looking over looking over my shoulder at the screen on my phone. Not the right thing to do, and not a very respectful of my privacy kind of thing to do. But she was doing it, and the rider Laura told me that I was riding the bus with, and dash bus. Damn, I was wanting to stop by my storage and get a Laserdisc player out, but it closes at 7, and it's 7:24. So anyway, yeah, she was looking over my shoulder, and I think she saw some porn thumbnails in my gallery as I was scrolling through stuff. So, yeah, my gallery and iPhone, I have yet to figure out how to separate that into separate folders. So it's just all there together. whether it's porn or home porn or bits and pieces of unedited video for my blog, pictures of things that I've taken, screenshots. It's just all there kind of in a big chunk. So I don't know, she seemed like a little bothered when she saw that. Whatever. Somebody who was offended by that probably isn't gonna get along with me very well for very long. So new mom shelter on the right. One woman I met about 2 weeks ago at Hideaway Lounge. She said she lived there. I'm really disappointed she never called me back. I gave her one of my cards. It seemed like her and I were really hitting it off. So So bummed and disappointed she's never called me back. But I'm certainly not expecting to hear from her now. And I figure the odds of me seeing her there again are pretty slim. In fact, I haven't been there since. I haven't really been out to any bars, and it's actually been over a week now. I figure right now I just absolutely do not have the money to spend on it. And maybe shouldn't have been spending as much money on it as I was last month, but up until I got sick a week and a half ago, I just, I felt like I still had a pretty solid income with the job at the furniture warehouse. But I definitely want to get to where I have two jobs of some kind. So that whole all my eggs in one basket thing is just not it's not good, mildly. So I mean, I'm just really bummed I never managed to get myself ahead to get an emergency fund. But I don't know, it just seemed like getting myself out of debt was more important than building up an emergency fund. I'm in a really tight situation. So. I think I'm going to go to 7-Eleven. They seem to overall have the best prices for fountain drinks. God, a fountain soda right now would really put my head in a good place. I drank quite a bit of water when I went to that water fountain there at 44th Street, Van Buren, but yeah, cotton mouth once again. Anyway, not really sure what I'm doing with the rest of my night. I'll probably just chill out at home and try to cobble all of today's videos into some vlog posts. Sorry, it's been mostly boring today. And I did have some interesting walking. Like I said, I went on the campus. I was there for about an hour, and I walked through quite a bit of the zone. And I did get some footage of the zone showing parts that's been cleaned up. But at this point, I feel like I've kind of started to connect with some of the people that are getting services there and that are kind of utilizing the system. And I'm not sure this is a driveway or a parking spot, but I'm going to park here. And I don't know, it's been kind of an adventure. The one woman that I was talking to, a rather heavy-set woman who seemed a little bit put off by porn thumbnails, I told her I was trying to find my daughter. I told her we were down there to try to get her glasses replaced, and I guess she just assumed that I was homeless, which I'm not, at least not yet. But I don't know, it almost seems like to a lot of people that are down there, that the concept of, and maybe this is just a fundamental flaw in the whole assistance system, is that there seems to be a lot of programs for, this guy's driving is frightening. There seems to be a lot of programs in place for people who are homeless to try to get them into shelter and try to get them into some kind of housing. But there doesn't seem, at least I'm not finding these programs, there doesn't seem to be a lot of programs in place to prevent people from losing their homes, from losing their housing. Like for people that that are like my situation, that have an apartment, that have a rent and have utilities, and bills that they're obliged to make every month, that don't know where the next payments are going to come from. There doesn't seem to be a lot of programs geared for that. At least those aren't located at the same places where the resources for the homeless are. So, you get in there and it's just an assumption that you've already lost everything. And it seems like there needs to be more stopgaps for people before they lose everything.